Hey y'all, it's me, Pat, at Ground Zero Salem. This is a real impromptu video that I'm shooting. I haven't done one of these in a while. Actually, I don't think I've ever done a true reaction unboxing kind of thing. Usually I've already opened it and looked through it when it's VCLT, a gift from a friend. But arriving on my doorstep sometime today, I came home to this package from Rick over in Philadelphia there from the Dreadful Minutes. So I thought, hey, I got a new phone. Let's test it out. Let's shoot a quick video. Before I do that, we're listening to the Dridge full length that came out a little while ago, Curing. Speaking of the Philly area, this band is from there. Their label is from there, World Gone Mad Records. World Gone Mad puts out a lot of like punkish, dark wave kind of stuff. A lot of post-punky kind of newer punk bands. This is kind of falls in line with that. It's definitely got like a gothy kind of je ne sais quoi to it. It's got sort of a Bauhaus and like Christian Death sort of like weird, noisy driving bass line element to it, but also a lot of like heavy punishing sludge screech here and there. It goes between whining and screeching kind of vocals. I like this a great deal. I've been waiting to get this for quite a while. There were some delays with it and stuff, so happy to have my mitts on it. Definitely an album of the year for me. Just put it back in its little place here. All right, so let's open this up and see what Rick has sent to us. I Hear Tapes. It's my favorite Overkill record. I Hear Tapes. It's a bad joke. All right. Watch me struggle with this. Probably just gonna upload this raw, unedited. Sans Tom Hanks. Wow, okay, there's a lot of stuff in here. Don't want to damage the packaging. Thanks so much to Rick, by the way, for this huge box of free stuff. Ow. I think I just cut myself on this box cutter. Nice. Slick. Alright. So. Some bra stuffers there. Sweet. Oh, these well packaged. Cassette. Lord Cowl. Cool. No idea what it is. It looks like it's very much up my alley of like stuff I've been into lately. A lot of traditional heavy metal stuff. Here, demonic sounds of hard rock. Sleaze debut demo. Very, very small print there. I managed to read it because I have glasses now. Alright, what else we got? Ooh, a flag. Who Killed Bambi? The Sex Pistols. Wow. Wow, where'd you get that? Is it a common design? I've never... I think I saw that on a shirt once. But, yeah, classic 10-pole Tudor and Sex Pistols, I think, or something like that. Awesome. That's gotta... I'll have to make room for that in here somewhere. Not let my kids see it. or rather, don't explain it to them. Yeah, Bambi, it's an old Disney movie. Alright, Funereal. The Misery Season. Can I read that? Caustic Cassette. Not familiar with this band either. Looks like death metal, maybe? Looks good. I will jam that. Very awesome so far, man. Great job, Rick. Nothing that I already had. Grave Titan in Perpetuum. Life After Death cassettes. Again, looks like death metal, so I'll like it. Just it's like a 3-song EP or demo. The logo looks really familiar, but I'm not sure if it's just because it's a death metal logo or not. Grave Titan. These might be Philly area bands, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. The Nihilistic Front, Procession to Annihilation. on Aesthetic Death. Not sure what this is. Never heard of it. Has Urban Decay on the cover, so I'll probably be into it. And then Dissolve, Dismantle. If this is the Dissolve from downstate New York, from the Poughkeepsie area, I'm stoked that this is in my hands right now. Because they were like an early... I mean, metalcore is not the word because it doesn't really apply to stuff like this anymore. I've talked about that a lot. But the era of stuff like Dead Guy and all that, it was one of those bands. I think they played one of the first Syracuse fests that turned into Hellfest, if it's the band I'm thinking of. It's on Elevator Music out of Connecticut, so probably it's the same one. That's a good label regardless. The Pissed were on that label, so that's good. A couple of 7-inchers here. Got a cowl sticker. It's turning into a longish video, 6 minutes. Tim Raldo and the Filthy Fucks. Destination Planet Piss. I love juvenile punk, man. This is 2010 too. Wow, this screams 90s to me. Yes. Can't go wrong with lowbrow sometimes. And Rapid Deception, self-titled 7-inch. Who knows? Is that like party thrash or something? I can't tell. There's a Grim Reaper with an abacus. I don't know if you can see that, and a bunch of people running in terror. This Grim Reaper knows how to do math. Let's get out of here, man. Cheese it. Okay, then we have Mesmerist, the Innocent, the Forsaken, the Guilty. This is Nuclear War Now. First ever vinyl reissue of 2 EPs from one of the most unique, unconventional, and mysterious U.S. heavy metal bands ever, with hints of Merciful Fate, and featuring none other than Bill Ward on drums. I have never heard of this, but that sounds sick to me. That's awesome. When was this band around? I have no idea. Cool. We'll take a little closer look at this, shall we? Give it up to closer inspection here. Just the lyric sheet there. Kingdom of the Dead, circa 1985. Okay. Bill Ward on drums. Roger Abercrombie on bass. Don't know who he is. Tommy Mesmer-Corrado on vocals and guitar. The second EP was just a guy named JR, so probably the same JR I was in a band with, I'm thinking. Former drummer of Slapshot briefly, Like Rats, Public Assistance, that guy. Same guy, I'm sure. My ex-roommate played drums in this band. Cool stuff. I'm just gonna, there we go, put that right there. So what I think I'll do is, if I can find the time, hopefully soon, Aaron the Metal Theologian and Eric Bauer dropped by for a sick hang, which was amazing. Eric was on vacation. Aaron lives in the neighboring state of South Carolina, the Charleston area. So they both swung by and gave me stuff, which is really, really cool. So I think I'll just do a long VCLT video maybe, because I got some great stuff from Eric and Aaron too. They're incredibly generous. So yeah, big love fest of stuff, free stuff. I think that's what this will be. So that'll probably be tacked on after this. As for right now, take care. Things are progressing along here just in time for me to get this room set up. I got 2 jobs, so we'll see how much I'll be able to do videos and upload. But thanks to everyone for sticking with me. All right, have a good night. Hey, welcome back to the second half. So it's been a few weeks. I needed a little time to get my act together here. Been busy starting up a few new jobs. If you didn't know, my name is Pat, and this is the new and improved Ground Zero Salem. I just want to make a quick video thanking and showing off some gifts from Eric Bauer and Aaron the Metal Theologian. They swung by, about a month ago now, maybe a little bit longer. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a nice picture right here. Hey, look at us having fun. Whee! Okay, yeah, they hung out for a night. We spun records. It was a great little meetup. They don't happen often in the real world. It's often great when they do. And I got some records from them. They didn't have to give me stuff, but they did, which was very, very nice. We'll start off with Eric's stuff here. This is a tape from a band called Purification. It's a doom band from the Pacific Northwest. Not sure when this came out, but they're a newer band. They've been around for not sure how long, maybe 5 years to a decade. This is a recent release. I don't think it's their newest. Destruction of the Wicked. Super heavy, very down-tuned doom. They're one of those projects, one of the few and proud that does like a high-end and low-end bass guitar and like no conventional 6-string guitar on it. There's not too many bands that do that. You know, the only ones that come to mind for me are probably Cop Shoot Cop and Man is the Bastard. I know there's other ones I'm probably forgetting. Those are the two that I'm most familiar with. And this, it just makes for very, very crushing, pretty much traditional doom. There's definitely like a strong, like early Southern Lord feel to it, but a little bit more like wizened and wizardly, you know, a little bit more leaning in like Saint Vitus or like 80s Pentagram style. Crushingly heavy. Very, very good. Before I go any further, I want to mention what we're listening to. This is the Funereal tape that I talked about just moments ago, or weeks ago if you're living in the real world with me here. This is actually something that I was aware of and completely brain farted on. This is the band that came after this band, Contagion. It's a really, really classic cult, like Chicago death metal stuff. Kind of on the doomier, slower side. This was an unreleased 1995 full length that didn't come out until 2000. And then, I don't even remember what that came out on, but it got reissued on Caustic cassette just last year, I believe. So, if you can hear it in the background, check it out. I'll put a link to it. It's very, very, very good. If you're into doomy death metal stuff, you won't be disappointed. Alright, next up from Eric. A band that I always saw on the shelves, especially in Boston. I saw their LP all the time in all the different record stores that were up and down Mass Ave, like Second Coming, and I just never checked them out. I believe MRR columnist George Tabb was involved with them at some point. Doesn't look like he's credited for playing anything on this discography that came out on Alternative Tentacles some time ago, but maybe he joined the band later, I don't know. I know they were around for quite a while in one form or another. They started in the beginning of the hardcore punk thing in 1980. This goes from 80 to 85. They were on the Peace Comp. They compiled all those bands from all over the world, hardcore bands and all that stuff. They were kind of part of that whole New York thrash compilation scene with the Mad and the Nihilistics, bands like that. Brain farting. So we're talking like early hardcore punk before a lot of it got blazing fast. It's very much rooted, kind of like their city mates Kraut, like in a rock and roll punk kind of thing, but has the urgency of hardcore and that kind of anger. There's also some other kind of influences leaking in here and there, maybe a little bit of reggae and a bit of post-punk here and there, but for the most part, kind of straightforward, snotty hardcore punk stuff. Also one of those bands that is from New York, but isn't definitively New York sounding, like Urban Waste or The Mob or something like that. There's a certain amount of songs on here that almost sounds like they could be from the Midwest or from the West Coast during that time. But yeah, solid stuff. Been wanting to hear it for a while. Thank you, Eric. Then we have a compilation of Italian hardcore and punk. And I'll try. Senza Tregua, Granducato hardcore compilation. Circa 1983, I believe. Only band I'm familiar with on this is the Cheetah Chrome motherfuckers. The rest I don't know. They're all new to me. Stato te Polizia, War Dogs, Putrid Fever, I Refuse It! Exclamation point, Traumatic, and Juggernaut. So, I mean, these samplers from the early 80s are always really cool to get a good feel for what's going on in a particular country or city's scene. I kind of liken this to the I Thrash Therefore I Am comp that was all Scandinavian bands from around the same time, but for Italy. And I love the cover art. That is some great, like, Winston Smith, Guy Bocher, by way of Italy style stuff going on, like political art, like this really detailed oil painting, giant soldier and all that. Very cool. The music runs the gamut. You know, it's all hardcore, but some of it leans in a little bit more towards the punk side of things. Some of it's so fast that it's almost leaning towards Deep Wound kind of territory as far as speed goes. CCM are the standouts on it, as you might expect. Great demented vocals, kind of shrieky sort of vocals. The music's getting kind of discordant and weird and jagged, but still being punk, you know. Yeah, very, very fun listen. Very rough, but also you can tell what's going on with the recordings of all the bands really well, too. Yeah, awesome. Then, onto the Aaron stuff, the Metal Theologian's Gifts. This was pitched to me by him as one of the best records ever. Graven Image. People in Hell Want Ice Water. It's a 2-song single. There's an expanded version of this that's People in Hell Still Want Ice Water. That's more or less a discography that I'm probably going to pick up because this rules. I left the shrink on because I love that hype sticker. I'm going to have to remove it and try to put it on like a regular poly bag or just save it because it just looks like a nice price sticker, or even like from a supermarket like Aldi or something. But early 80s LA speed metal, I guess, traditional heavy metal, whatever you want to call it. Real sharp, just cutting riffs, wailing vocals, everything you'd want from that kind of like LA metal from that time. You know, certainly if you dig stuff like Liege Lord and all that kind of shit, Omen, all that, this is right along the lines of that stuff, and very, very, very good. Super catchy. Awesome. Then, this is something that Aaron himself released. This Madhouse demo, but like album-length demo on a 12-inch. First Damage. This is a German band from the mid-'80s. I think this was recorded in '86. Around that. I looked it up and forgot it. Beer and Jesus Records. That's the imprint right there. And I love this kind of presentation with metal. You know, I feel like I saw a lot of DIY stuff like this come out in the 90s into the early 2000s. And after a while, it was like, okay, I get it. All right, this bike is a pipe bomb. I don't need to see more photocopied stuff. But for metal and for a metal demo, it's so cool. It's just so like raw, visually and musically. It's heavy metal. Vocals might be a little bit of an acquired taste, but for me, the enthusiasm kind of carries through. Lots and lots of energy, just straightforward, fucking ripping, raw demo recording heavy metal from Germany. There's striped pants involved, so you know you got striped pants and you've got some like jams there. So there's unity going on, which I appreciate. And then finally, a classic debut of Death SS, In Death of Steve Sylvester. This was issued by Shadow Kingdom, so you know it's quality. Only thing with Shadow Kingdom and a few other, I think like Buried by Time and Dust, the Pagan Altar LPs that I have, they don't seem to make the jackets to actually fit the records. It's a double LP, and I don't care, you know, just jamming it in the middle of the centerfold. And I know a lot of people do that anyway because they don't want ring wear, but it doesn't seem to fit. It's just kind of irksome to me, but here I am bitching about a free record. I mean, come on. Great record, too. Probably their best. They did a bunch of stuff after this, had a lot of lineup changes. I'm just so amazed by how this band was so, like, simultaneously dark and campy and heavy and atmospheric and also kind of cock rockish, you know. There's so much different stuff going on, just as much Alice Cooper as Black Sabbath, as well as leaning into some more modern heavy metal elements of the day, you know, almost starting to get into sort of a thrash speed thing, but not quite. Just an all-around impressive band. Italy's own Death SS kind of helped shape a sound. And yeah, not for nothing, this is on this cool half and half purple and white splatter. Very, very good stuff. So, as you can see, most of my stuff is set up here. I'm getting comfortable finally. I've got a few more things to hang up, and that's about it. Maybe I'd do a room tour soon. Half of this media room is Amanda's, and she's in the process of setting her stuff up as well, so maybe I'll give you half a room tour. I don't know. But it's cool. You know, I'm going to be training at some new jobs for a little bit, and probably another 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm going to try to cram in some collection updates, of which I have many. I've purchased a lot of stuff in this journey down here to North Carolina, and also, screw it, I'm going to do a top 10, 20. I'm going to do a top records at 2021. Why not? You know, I've been a snob about this long enough. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun thing to do. I think I'll have something different to contribute, maybe. So, I don't know. That's about it. Till next time, thanks for watching. I'll talk to all of you soon. Comment below, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. I love you.